Yeah guys, well, we're in now to try to finish the honeypot and everything else. There's a few tricks here that there's these 3 screws here which hold this down and locks in, and there's like three type of like 3 prongs that stick out, and they actually lock into the column itself, and then you tighten up the screws. Bit of a trick to it. You've got to make sure that they're loose enough to drop down. I'll see if I could I'll see if I can zoom this up for you. Is it going to work, the zoomer? Yeah, there she goes. And that's where there's a bit of a trick to it all. But it's not really. I mean, it's just a matter of locking it in, trying to get in there, pushing it down like that, and then turning to lock it through. Where the thing is, you've got to make sure it goes right down into it. Yep. Let me see if that's down and out. A little bit more, I think. So, see if it locks in. No, it doesn't look like it's locked in there. It looks like it there. Yeah, it's a tricky one, that one, but loosen those 2 screws a little bit more, maybe. It's gone into the thing, it's locked into this position. Problem is now, pull this one up, and that might have grabbed. You could be here for ages trying to get it. Yeah, I can see that it's not grabbing really, I don't think. Yeah. Now, let's see what happens. This one might have grabbed it. Oh yeah. Might have done it. Got it in there. It's just got to fall in its place. It's got to fall in its place. 3 screws. With that tag. There's the gap going all the way around. Looks good all the way around. Looks like it's pretty easily tight. I'll just tighten it right up here. Got it even now. That's the honeypot there. Make sure your gaps are even along the bottom, so when you're moving your shifter, it doesn't drag. So it doesn't drag on here. That's where that wear mark was. It was slightly over. Now I've got it centered, got an even gap all the way around. That's locked in. Okay, we'll start doing the rest of it now. And that's by putting on indicator part, all that. So we'll start putting that in there. I'll get it all ready for you. Yeah, we're going to put the indicator mechanism in. Now, behind here, there's this little spacer here. Make sure that this spacer, you don't lose it. It's only a little tiny thing and it goes in there, so that way it swivels. When you put it inside here, it goes underneath the nut, and we could get it in there. Nice and neat. Whoops. There we go. Got to get it into the indicator switch. Indicator switch, so that must go a bit lower. easily, but it'll go. There you go. There you go. Now, that's working okay. That spacer is in there, so when you tighten up, you can tighten up as much as you want, and it won't loosened off. I really give it a good tighten, you know, and so that way it doesn't rock off. And I can see the indicators clicking and doing its normal thing. Okay, so now I'll put the, what can I put on the actual, I'll put the indicator stalk on here. So we'll get that screwed in there. And we'll slide the end through here. Put it in there. So now we'll get the screwdriver. Not screwdriver, luckily. And there it goes, into that spot there. Oh, there's that nice and tight there. That's working okay. So now you've got these other little bits and pieces in here. Like you got this, the spring, which goes into the on this shaft, which actually pushes down on the bearing, keeps the bearing tight, top bearing, and whoops, there goes the horn. That's going to happen a few times because still got the power on it. And there we go again. Just letting you know I'm here. Yeah. And the neighbours will know I'm here too. Yep. So we put that spring down in there. I think that's, hopefully that's pretty well down in there. See, the shaft now is tightened up on the bearing, otherwise it wobbles around. Oh yeah, okay. That makes it tighter there. That's good. Now we've got these other pieces here that will go on the return. So it can return all these pieces. So we've got to have that in here. So they could cancel out indicator. And I believe that goes in this way. And put in that there. So they just move those nylon bits. Yeah. Yep. So now we'll see if you could see closer. I don't know if you can. Yeah, that's the nylon bits that cancel out and you press it over. So we've got to put this little bit and the spring on. Spring on and that little jigger, and you've got to put that underneath, that nylon bit underneath there, so it's like a wheel. It jumps from this point to this point to this point, back to this point. Yep. So I'll fill around with that, trying to get it in. Might take a little bit. Yep. Yes, I jumped the gun. I put those nylon pieces in first before, but you're not supposed to. You put that other spring and retainer and the other return spring for the indicator first. Then you put them in last, and you put this other spring at the end. Yeah, so that's your returning indicator. mechanism. Now what we'll do now, we'll put the shifter in. Where's the shifter? The shifter's got a spring on it, as you can see the spring, and we'll just push it in and push the pin into it. I'll go back a little bit for you. We'll just reverse the, whoops, go the wrong way, go back this way a bit, and I'll show you, we'll just get this lined up here so the spring doesn't fall out. Is it in there? That'd be interesting to see. Yep, it's in there, spring's in there. So you can see that. I'll just hand it in there. And then we'll put that, there's a little pin, cotter pin, push it in from the top down. Just get your right size, because one side's a little bit bigger than the other. Yeah. It's not lining up too good. Where is it? Here it is. Now you got to wiggle it around a bit to get that pin to line up. Okay, so like I was saying to you, this is the spring that you got to put in last. So it's that tension in there, and there's a nylon unit under there, which is it runs on that spring steel, and then you put your nylons afterwards. And the last bit is your spring. And that, see how that works? It returns forwards and pulls back every time you turn your steering wheel. It'll click back. Yeah. And the shifter works good with the indicator. Now, when you go, at the moment it's in park, as you can see. It goes at, that's reverse, that's your neutral, and there's my drive. It actually goes in nicely, the lining up with that little tag on the end of it. It's spot on, because the cable throw is much more than your normal mechanical system, and especially in this case we'd convert it to right-hand drive, so we needed a cable system to go to the other side, but otherwise straight into park, and it works great. The indicator, there it is, and your kilometres. Okay, so what we've got now, we could put the steering wheel on, finally start to close her up, just line her up, the lines there, just line her up so you can feel it just going into a line. That's it. That was roughly where I left it, in the middle. I've left the wheels straight, so I know it's going to be back the same spot. And we'll get got a washer and a nut to go on. Yep. So we'll just see if we've got the right way. Yeah, this way there. And don't damage these threads, especially when you're using a puller. You don't want to damage it. Socket on here. You don't want that pulling in too close. The only way it's going to happen is if your steering wheel shaft is worn and it pulls down lower. But otherwise it'll fail into there. But it looks okay. Let's say, looking around, looks good. Yeah, now the next point is to put your horn ring in, and a bit tricky. The horn's going to go off all the time. I should probably disconnect it. We'll see how many times it'll go off. Got to put that in first. That goes in first on the pipe, and then the plastic bit that rocks on goes on later. So what we'll do, we'll have a look where the screws are going to line up to. There, that's the one. And no, before we do that, I just realised there's one major part that has to go on. Otherwise the horn won't work. There's that bit. You got to push that in first. That goes right in that hole there. Push that in there with the nylon covering, and that's what's going to make the noise. So we'll put that like that. Like that. Well, the horn works, we know that. There you go. Now hopefully we'll get this horn ring on here. Okay. So we'll just bring it up a little bit closer for you. Whoops, a bit far. Go a bit closer, come on. Yeah, a little bit there. And we'll try to screw these bits in. Yeah. That's it. Near two hands. Looks better. We'll see what happens there. If the horn's not going to work or not. Was before, wasn't it? Yep, there it goes. That works perfectly. That's the main thing. You got to get the plastic rocker in the right spot underneath the screws, huh? And that way. Yeah, it's not going to, bounce around and stroke around, and that should, yeah, that's it, beautiful, look at that. Okay, so we've accomplished that. The next part will be the centre. There it goes. That completes that. And we've got to get the two screws, and these two screws go around the back, two spots at the back there, bit fiddly to get into, put that right at the back there, and once you screw them down, that'll pull in from the screw there, and there's your completed job there. So get back here. Okay, so they're all together, all finished, job's done, and what we should do is check everything, and I think what we'll do is try the horn. That works well. Now we'll try we'll start her up. So we got a bit of power steering. So we'll see how the return indicator is. See, go there, indicating okay over there, and we can turn the wheel and cancel. Try left side. And cancel. So the cancel is working. It's good for power steering. And on works like we said. And then we'll try the lights. Actually, what we'll do, turn the temperature is working okay, isn't it? Yeah, it's just starting to creep up. Petrol's working okay. We've got kilometres now. We're in park. So what we'll do, we'll turn this light off. Turn the light off. Make sure everything works. Yeah. And we'll make sure that instruments work. Turn the lights on. There you go. They're all working. Yeah. All my wiring clock, everything's working. And well, the main thing is the high beam. How's that going? Yep, high beam works. High beam switch works. That works. So all the wiring's working fine. Happy with that.